The first 60 minutes of your morning don't just predict your day, they program your entire destiny. Most people let their alarms dictate their mood, letting external chaos flood their minds before their feet even touch the floor. But the ancient Stoics knew a secret that modern science is only now confirming. The brain is most malleable in the first hour after waking, making it the prime window for installing mental armor. What you inject into your consciousness during this golden window becomes the operating system for everything that follows. So, how do you fortify this crucial period without spending hours in meditation or journaling? The answer is deceptively simple, a 5-line morning ritual spoken aloud to your reflection that rewires your neural pathways for resilience. Let's break down each line, why it works, and how to wield it like a psychological weapon. Line 1 is the foundation upon which everything else rests. I am the master of my perceptions, not a slave to my circumstances. This isn't positive thinking fluff. It's cognitive behavioral therapy wrapped in ancient wisdom. Epictetus, the enslaved philosopher who became one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, famously said that we are disturbed not by events, but by our opinions about them. But what happens when you internalize this so deeply that it becomes reflex, not just a mantra? Neuroscience shows that repeated verbal affirmations strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for impulse control and rational thinking. When you declare your sovereignty over perception, you're literally building new neural highways that sidestep the amygdala's fear response. This line inoculates you against victimhood, transforming every setback into a data point rather than a tragedy. The obstacle becomes the path when perception precedes reaction. Line 2 shifts your focus from what's outside to what's within. My energy flows only toward what I can control, and I release the rest with peace. The Stoic dichotomy of control is perhaps the most practical tool in the philosophy's toolkit. There's a simple litmus test for life's challenges. Can you influence this? If yes, act. If no, accept. But saying it is one thing. Living it is another battle entirely. When you verbalize this line each morning, you're doing more than reciting words. You're actively pruning the mental branches of worry that drain your limited cognitive resources. Studies on decision fatigue confirm that we make poorer choices when our attention is scattered across uncontrollable variables. This line acts as a mental sieve, filtering out the noise so you can focus your horsepower on high-impact actions. Imagine walking into your day knowing that you've already categorized everything into mine to handle and not mine to worry about. The clarity this provides is almost supernatural, clearing the fog of anxiety that clouds most people's judgment before 9 a.m. Line 3 transforms your relationship with struggle. Every difficulty I encounter is a teacher disguised as an obstacle. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote extensively about this. He saw adversity not as punishment, but as fuel for character development. But what if you could truly embody this perspective, seeing every criticism, failure, and frustration as tuition paid to the school of life? Psychologists call this a growth mindset, but the Stoics called it amor fati, love of fate. When this line becomes part of your morning lexicon, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" The mental shift is profound. You begin to welcome challenges the way an athlete welcomes resistance training, not because it feels good, but because it makes you stronger. Each hardship becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Difficulties are tuition paid to the university of the soul. Line 4 anchors your identity in what cannot be taken from you. My character, not my possessions or reputation, defines my worth. Society screams at us from every screen that our value is tied to what we own, how we look, and what others think of us. This is a trap designed to keep us perpetually chasing external validation. But when your sense of worth is rooted in character, what can actually threaten you? Your bank account can be wiped out, your reputation can be smeared, your body can age, but your integrity, your kindness, and your courage remain your own. This line is a radical reclamation of power. When you speak it aloud, you're declaring independence from the court of public opinion. You're refusing to let likes, followers, or applause dictate your self-esteem. Modern research on intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation confirms that those who pursue goals aligned with their core values experience greater satisfaction and resilience. This morning affirmation isn't just spiritual, it's strategic. It protects you from the emotional whiplash of external success and failure, keeping your inner state stable regardless of what the world throws at you. Line 5 is your call to action. I will act with purpose and virtue today, regardless of the outcome. This is where the rubber meets the road. Everything else, the perception, the focus, the mindset, the identity, is preparation for this moment. But what happens when you commit to virtuous action while detaching from the result? This line frees you from the tyranny of outcome-based thinking. It says, I will do what is right, what is wise, what is courageous, and I will let the universe handle the consequences. This is the secret to fearless living. When you're not handcuffed to specific results, you can take bold, creative risks that others shrink from. You can speak truth to power, launch that project, or have that difficult conversation because you're playing a longer game than immediate gratification. Every morning, when you declare this line, you're programming yourself for courageous, principled action. You're telling your subconscious that integrity is non-negotiable and that you'll sleep well at night knowing you gave it your best, regardless of whether the world rewarded you or not. Now, I want you to feel the cumulative effect of these 5 lines spoken in succession. You're not just saying words, you're installing a psychological firewall against negativity, anxiety, and regret. Line by line, you're building an unshakable inner fortress. But can a 2-minute ritual truly change your life? The answer is yes, but only if you do it consistently. Repetition is the mother of skill, and this is a skill worth mastering. Think of this routine like brushing your teeth for your mind. You wouldn't skip oral hygiene because you're in a hurry. Don't skip mental hygiene for the same reason. Start your first line tomorrow. Add the second the next day. Build your fortress brick by brick, sentence by sentence. The question I leave you with is this. Who will you be when the chaos hits, and will your morning routine have prepared you for that moment? The Stoics believed that character is forged in the crucible of daily life, not in grand heroic moments. Every single morning is an opportunity to shape that character intentionally. Your daily rituals are the architects of your destiny. So, begin tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the perfect alignment of the stars. The version of you that can face anything, that can stay calm under pressure, that can navigate chaos with grace, that version is only one morning routine away. Speak these 5 lines, live them, and watch your world transform from the inside out. If you found value in this morning ritual, please hit that like button to help more people discover these timeless principles right here on Winds of Thought. Subscribe and hit the bell for daily wisdom. And comment below, which of these 5 lines resonates most deeply with your current journey?